The Galactic Council convened in their gleaming hall, a massive structure suspended in the cold void of space. Representatives from countless star systems gathered, their elongated forms shimmering under the blue-tinted lights. Conversations hummed through the chamber, most centering around one peculiar species, humans. "They are fragile," sneered an insectoid delegate, its antennae twitching with disdain. "Their homeworld is a chaotic mess of hostile environments. They barely survive." A serpentine envoy coiled lazily around its seat. "Primitive, relying on brute willpower rather than advancing beyond their primitive survival instincts. I don't understand why they were granted council representation at all." The discussion continued, filled with mockery and self-assured superiority. For eons, these species had thrived on planets that offered stability and comfort. Their evolution had steered toward intelligence and technological sophistication, not physical endurance or survival under duress. "Consider their so-called Deathworld," another voice chimed in, dripping with sarcasm. "Oceans filled with predators, skies racked with storms, tectonic instability, diseases lurking in every shadow. Only a pitiful species would be forced to endure such a hostile birthplace." Laughter rippled through the assembly. Humanity was a joke to them, a species barely scraping by on a cosmic anomaly of a planet. To these advanced civilizations, true strength came from mastering one's environment, not merely surviving it. An elder being, its crystalline form shimmering with ancient wisdom, raised a translucent appendage to quiet the hall. And yet, it spoke with a resonant hum. "These humans persist. They have ventured beyond their Deathworld, colonized harsh worlds, and even stood against threats that would cripple many of us." There was a brief pause before another delegate scoffed, "Luck. Nothing more." The elder's crystalline facets darkened slightly. "Luck, perhaps. Or something more profound." The hall fell into an uneasy silence. Beneath their derision lay an unspoken truth: humans defied logic. By all galactic standards, they should have perished on their chaotic world eons ago. Instead, they had thrived, their reach now extending into the stars. Still, arrogance reigned supreme. "We should not elevate them simply because they have managed to stumble through adversity," insisted the insectoid delegate. "They are weak," the serpentine envoy concluded with finality, "and they will remain weak." The council moved on to other matters, but a seed of doubt lingered in the minds of a few. For all their technological superiority, none of them had faced the relentless crucible of a deathworld like Earth. They had grown soft, insulated from danger by their advancements. As the meeting adjourned, the elder's crystalline form glowed faintly. "Perhaps one day," it murmured to itself, "they will show us what true strength really is." A lone human stood at the edge of an alien-controlled frontier station, the sleek metal corridors humming with faint energy pulses. Clad in a reinforced survival suit, the figure moved with a quiet confidence, eyes scanning every detail of the unfamiliar environment. The aliens stationed there, tall and graceful beings with shimmering exoskeletons, barely acknowledged the newcomer. One of them, a lithe officer with iridescent scales, sneered as the human passed. "Another soft creature from the Deathworld," it muttered to a colleague. "What do they hope to accomplish here?" The other alien clicked in agreement. "Perhaps they're here to admire real civilization, far from their primitive planet." The human paid no attention, stepping further into the station's core. Every instinct remained on high alert, a habit forged by countless generations surviving Earth's unforgiving environments. Even in this seemingly secure structure, the human couldn't shake the ingrained vigilance that came from living on a world where danger was never far away. Suddenly, alarms blared through the station. Emergency lights bathed the corridors in a pulsing red glow. A security drone's voice echoed through the halls, "Containment breach detected. Hostile entity on board." Panic spread like wildfire. The alien crew froze, their carefully structured lives offering no preparation for such chaos. One officer fumbled with a control panel, his hands shaking. "What is it? How did it get in?" "No time," another shouted. "We need to seal off the sector." Before they could act, a massive, multi-limbed creature tore through a bulkhead, its chitinous body glistening under the harsh lights. Razor-sharp appendages sliced through metal as it roared, eyes burning with primal fury. The aliens scattered, their sleek forms built for grace, not combat. The human didn't flinch. Years of surviving Earth's predators and chaotic landscapes had bred a different response: action. Without hesitation, the human grabbed a nearby energy lance from a wall mount and sprinted toward the creature. The aliens watched in disbelief as the supposedly fragile Deathworlder confronted the nightmare head-on. The creature lunged, but the human rolled beneath its swinging limbs, slashing at its exposed underbelly. Sparks and ichor sprayed across the floor. The beast screeched, momentarily stunned. "Close the bulkhead," an alien officer screamed, but none dared approach the control panel. The human didn't wait for assistance. Weaving through the chaos, they reached the controls, fingers flying across unfamiliar symbols. With a deafening clang, the bulkhead slammed shut, trapping the creature in an isolated chamber. Silence fell. The aliens stared in shock at the human, who stood panting but unscathed. You fought it," one alien stammered. "Had to," the human replied calmly. "Free-range monsters don't usually make for good neighbors." The aliens exchanged glances, their arrogance shattered. For all their technological advancements, none of them had reacted with such precision and bravery. As the human walked past, one alien muttered in disbelief, "Perhaps there's more to these Deathworlders than we thought." The aftermath of the attack left the alien crew shaken. Repairs were underway, and technicians scrambled to assess the damage, but the real turbulence was in the minds of the council members aboard the station. They gathered in a secure chamber, their shimmering forms dimmed with unease. "How did this happen?" one demanded, frustration evident in its tone. "Our defenses are supposed to be impenetrable." "It's not the breach that troubles me," another said grimly, "but how a single human resolved the crisis when our entire crew faltered." The elder, its crystalline body flickering thoughtfully, addressed the assembly. "Perhaps we have misunderstood the nature of strength. We see ourselves as superior because we have eliminated hardship from our worlds. But that human, they thrived in chaos." The statement hung heavily in the air. The aliens had evolved on worlds where the environment nurtured tranquility. Their technology ensured comfort, their societies flourished without strife. They had forgotten the raw edge of survival. "Earth is a place of madness," the elder continued. "Violent storms, shifting tectonic plates, predatory creatures lurking in forests and oceans, diseases evolving at a relentless pace. And yet, humans have not only survived but thrived." Another delegate spoke, its voice tinged with doubt. "But survival alone does not indicate superiority." The elder's glow intensified. "It's not just survival, it's adaptation. Do you know what humans call a normal day? One where everything could kill them, but doesn't. Their instincts are honed by perpetual threat. When faced with danger, they don't freeze, they act." The room fell silent as they considered this unsettling revelation. The council species had long prided themselves on their advanced technologies and peaceful civilizations. But peace had made them complacent. Their survival instincts had dulled, while humanity's had sharpened to a lethal edge. "Perhaps this is why their exploration efforts are expanding so rapidly," another member conceded reluctantly. "They are not bound by fear of hostile environments." The elder nodded. "We solve problems by eliminating variables. Humans solve them by adapting to chaos. That is the mark of a true Deathworlder." An uncomfortable realization settled over the group. The human had not been lucky. They had done exactly what their environment demanded of them, forged by a planet that offered no mercy. If we had relied solely on our protocols, that creature would have torn through the entire station, one member admitted quietly. Another delegate, clearly shaken, spoke up. "Then perhaps we should learn from them." The elder's crystalline facets gleamed. "Indeed. Strength is not the absence of hardship but the ability to endure and overcome it. And that is humanity's greatest gift." There was no more mockery, only a lingering respect tinged with humility. The galaxy was vast, filled with dangers both known and unknown. And perhaps, in the face of such uncertainties, the Deathworlders from Earth were exactly what the universe needed. The repairs were finally complete, and the station hummed back to life, its systems restored to full functionality. The alien crew moved with a renewed sense of purpose, their usual grace tinged with the lingering awareness of recent events. At the heart of the station, the council reconvened, their tones markedly different from before. The elder's crystalline body shimmered faintly as it addressed the assembly. "We have learned much today, more than from 1,000 years of complacency. And we owe that knowledge to the human." Murmurs of agreement rippled through the chamber. Arrogance had given way to reluctant respect. One alien, previously dismissive, spoke with newfound humility. "Their methods defy logic, yet they succeed where we would falter. They didn't rely on advanced systems but on instinct, adaptability, and sheer will." The elder nodded. Traits honed not by comfort but by the crucible of a harsh world. The human, standing quietly at the edge of the chamber, remained calm as the discussion unfolded. They had no desire for accolades or recognition. Survival was simply what humans did day in and day out, without ceremony. A council member turned toward the human, its voice cautious but sincere. "We underestimated your kind. Our arrogance blinded us to the strength born of adversity." The human offered a modest shrug. "Earth's got a way of teaching you to handle whatever comes your way. You either adapt or you don't make it. Simple as that." Simple, yet profound. The aliens, with all their technological advancements, had never been forced to adapt in the same way. They had mastered their environments, but in doing so, they had lost the edge needed to face the unknown. The elder spoke again, its voice carrying a note of finality. "From this day forward, let us not dismiss what we do not understand. Humanity may be young by galactic standards, but they possess something we must learn: the strength to thrive in chaos." Another member added thoughtfully, "Perhaps it is time we collaborate more closely with Earth. Their resilience may hold the key to navigating future threats." The human remained composed, though inwardly they recognized the significance of the moment. Humanity had been underestimated, mocked, and dismissed, but now the galaxy understood what Deathworlders truly were: survivors, innovators, and forces to be reckoned with. The elder's crystalline glow intensified. "You have reminded us that strength is not in what we avoid but in what we endure. For that, we thank you." As the session concluded, the human prepared to depart, knowing their job was done. Yet the implications of this encounter would ripple far beyond this station. Humanity had earned its place in the stars not through conquest or domination, but by proving that even in the face of unimaginable odds, they would always find a way to survive. And perhaps, in the vast and unpredictable galaxy, that was the most valuable strength of all.